This ain't advice. I'm not your advisor. And as they say in the biz, slap that subscribe button. We're only about 100,000 away from a million. We're almost there. Welcome to another episode of Buck Talk, Mailbag Edition. Let's check out today's question. 20-year mortgage versus 30-year mortgage and investing difference. Currently looking at mortgages. You're a first-time home buyer. You plan on purchasing the home for $275 with 20% down for a loan amount of $220. Using this calculator, we'll open that and look at it later. It shows that there is a $200 to $300 difference depending on rates. That being said, does it make sense to go with a 30-year mortgage despite being able to afford the 20-year and buying a share of VOO every month? I get it. So investing the difference. All right, let's check out what you were looking at. Okay, so it's really just a calculator. And so you just punched yours in. And it's funny that they picked 20 and 30 year. I'm sure you can get a 20-year mortgage, but 15 is much, much more common. Let's see what the current rates are. All right, so I just pulled the rates from guaranteedrate.com. They might change a little depending on where you look, but and I like to look with 0 points instead of 1 just to keep it real simple, apples to apples. So it looks like the difference between a 15 and I don't know what a 20 would be, but a 15 and a 30 year is a little less than 0.5%, which is fairly substantial. Quite a bit less interest. Let's figure out exactly how much less. Okay, so mortgages aren't straight lines. So this is just quick and dirty numbers, but in the first year of the mortgage, you would end up accruing $6,400 of interest that you'd pay for the 15-year and something like $7,300 for the 30-year, so call it $900 or $1,000 that you might save in a year, which it makes sense. It checks out, right? $200,000 and roughly 0.5%. You multiply them together, you get about $1,000 a year. The math, if you're trying to plug everything into a spreadsheet, is going to say, and we'll click back to your question here, is going to say what you should do is if you can out-earn the 30-year mortgage, then really it'd be, again, it's not a straight line, but the difference between the 20 or 15-year mortgage when you're considering that rate, which is about 0.5%. So if you can do better than 3.8% with what you invest, you probably end up ahead. There's taxes and a whole bunch of other things to figure out, flexibility. The rates aren't that different. I think if it were me, I'd really want to think about the flexibility of the 30-year mortgage payment and having the extra cash that you get to build up. And you can always build it up and build it up and build it up and then go ahead and pay it off later. Now, of course, if whatever you invested in does worse than 3 or 4% a year, then you're coming out behind. So that's a given, right? We understand that, and that's possible for at least a pretty long period of time. But probably if you have this loan for long enough, it works out that you can out-earn the rate. You don't have to do it. Whether you need the flexibility would be the biggest thing for me. If you need the extra cash, or you want the extra cash, or you want to be able to, let's say you were a relatively high income earner and you wanted to be able to put money into a 401k to reduce your income taxes, it might be even more efficient doing something like that. But I don't think either option would be wrong. I wouldn't stretch yourself all the way thin and take the shortest term mortgage that you can, just to reduce the rate by a tiny little bit. But it's a good problem to have. Good luck with it.